How's it going, gamers? Another day, another video. In this one we're going to be talking about Predator Hunting Grounds. We've ended up with the trial thanks to Sony. It's available on PS4 for a few days, so we've been drilling it. And while this is a Sony interactive product, it's not an exclusive. Instead, it's even better. It's crossplay. So you won't just be playing this on PS4, you'll be playing it on Xbox, you'll be playing it on PC, and you can be playing it all together crossplay. Or you can just turn crossplay off and play it on your own platform with other users. But this is pretty amazing for me because at the end of the day, Sony ended up with a lot of fingers being pointed at them. There was a lot of blame game going around, especially from developers of certain companies, which I won't mention, Bethesda. But yeah, at the end of the day, here they are, Sony Interactive, providing crossplay content. So hats off to Sony for that one, a round of applause. And encore, because I want to see more of it. I want to see not just from Sony, I want to see this from Nintendo, and I want to see this from Microsoft. Yeah, and then the real console wars will begin. You know what I mean? But yeah, at the end of the day, this is a really, really great move from Sony, and I'm really grateful they've done it. However, I don't think I'd be really into this game if it wasn't based around the Predator. I've seen this format being done in the past, and to be honest, I wasn't really interested in the style of game. We've seen it with Dead by Daylight. That game felt small, it felt repetitive, and it felt like it was an old PC game rather than a modern console game for its time. I know a lot of people out there enjoy it, I know a lot of people out there play it a lot, but it's just not for me. I've seen it before again with Friday the 13th. I ended up getting into Friday the 13th because I was into the movies when I was growing up. I was into the Friday the 13th movies, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Hellraiser, you name it. So it appealed to me, but once you got to play as Jason and you got to grips with him, and once you knew how to survive as a Camp Crystal Laker, and you know the horror behind it all and the mystery behind it all started to wear away, then I became less interested in it. In a matter of weeks, I played it, you know, within a matter of weeks, and then that were it. I just got bored of it and moved on. Unfortunately, we're also seeing this trying to be pulled off by Capcom. The iconic, absolutely brilliant Resident Evil series. They've ended up making Resident Evil Resistance. That's already a disaster, far worse than anything that's happened in Raccoon City, because they can't even get the beta to work on PS4 or Steam. The actual beta was due out March the 27th, 2020. It is now March the 30th. 2 days ago we got a notification on Twitter saying they've had to pull the beta off. They're going to put it back on. They'll get in touch with us. They'll let everybody know what's going on as soon as possible. That was 2 days ago. We've had nothing since. And the actual main game is supposed to be getting released in 4 days. And we've still yet to see a beta. I ended up clicking on it and I managed to play the tutorial of the Mastermind. And as soon as literally that was up, that was it. I couldn't get back into it at all. There was no way I could access it. Jumps on Twitter, sees all that, throw it to the side. Why are you even bothering? Should have remade Resident Evil Outbreak File 1 and gone on from there. Resistance, nobody asked for it, nobody wants to see it. Why are you even bothering? Especially when this is coming out. You know, what are you gonna do? You've got $50, yeah, 50 quid. You got Resident Evil Resistance. Oh, you got Predator Hunting Grounds. You're going to go Predator Hunting Grounds. So now Capcom are trying to throw Resident Evil Resistance in with Resident Evil 3, or so the rumour mill's telling me. That game is so popular, they can't sell it, they have to give it away. That's how bad Resident Evil Resistance is. Anyway, so, like I said, I don't think I'd be interested in this game because it's the same type of format. But I am. I really like this game. At the end of the day, the amount of stuff you can do in it is unbelievable. It's not just for Marines surviving against the Predator. If you're playing as the Marines, you're dropped in, you're given a mission to do, or a set of missions in the certain map, in a certain time, while you're being hunted down. The toys you have in this game are amazing. They're absolutely brilliant. And this is just the beta. You can see other things that you can unlock eventually for a Marine or for the Preds. And they're amazing. I can't really wait to get into a lot of this. And what's the best thing about this game is the more you play it, the more you unlock, and the more you unlock, the better this game's going to get. The Predator hunts through sounds and through visions. Yeah, you can see thermal, you can see your body heat. Yeah, and while he's in that mode, he can also pinpoint where sounds are coming from. So if you're playing with a bunch of randoms and they're running around getting into firefights and setting alarms off and all sorts of crap, that pred's going to be onto you so fast it's unbelievable. But if you're running around and caking yourselves in mud frequently, if you've got cold-blooded perks where your body temperature's a lot lower, if you're all using suppressors, if you're flipping crouching, yeah, and taking your time through the jungle and things like that to pull off your mission, shutting down alarms, silently taking out a camp, and then eventually getting out of there, the Predator is going to find it very, very difficult to track you, hunt you, and kill you, yeah? You've got a lot of classes in this game. You've got Assault, Scout, Sniper, and Support, or Heavy Duty. And they all have their own different things. You've got perks in this game for both the Predator and the Marines. You've got a lot of equipment you can unlock, and also you experience that equipment. So the more you use an SMG, the more you're going to level that SMG up, and the more attachments that are going to be available for it. The cosmetics are absolutely brilliant. There's that many options for cosmetics in this game for the Predator and the Marines. It's amazing. It's really, really good. Yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to come across anybody else who looks exactly like you, unless you are the ultimate looking badass, which I am. I make my guy look so absolutely tactical. It's unbelievable. So, while other games like this, in the past, the more you play it, the more bored you end up getting of it. Yeah, you're unlocking things, but nowhere near as much content as you are in here. This is one of them games where the more you play it, the better it gets. I'll be throwing some videos up on the channel. Like we ended up a 4-man team. We've got 3 flipping grenade launchers, 2 chain guns, and all sorts of other stuff. And we made this guy playing the Predator rage quit in 6 minutes. We absolutely battered him. And then there's been others where I've played as the Predator, and I've just been ripping heads off left, right, and centre. So there's going to be a few videos on the channel about all this. I can't wait for the final product to drop where I'm actually, you know, going to town on them. So yeah, there's a lot to this. There really is. The soundtrack and the theme behind it all is a lot more like the very first movie than anything else. There's a few things I want to see changed in it, and I've always said it's the little things in life that make the biggest differences. The exact same thing is in video games. The little things in video games make all the difference. They really do. So, for a start, when you're getting out the chopper light's green. It should be red. There's no light. There should be no light in that helicopter at all coming from it. You know what I mean? There's that. Then there's the way the AI are moving. With this being a beta, I hope that it's a hell of a lot better, a hell of a lot smoother, especially when it comes to gunfights and things like that in the main game. Then there's also the storyline behind the Predator movie by Shane Black, the latest Predator movie. That movie, in my eyes, was absolutely garbage, and they're incorporating a lot of it into this game. Like Stargazer, things like that, that's all part of this game. Get that crap, cut it out, throw it right out there now. Get that crap right out of your head, yeah? Because I'm not being funny, The Predator was one of the worst movie I've ever seen, yeah? Because it was based on The Predator and it was so poorly executed. The things they've tried to do in that movie, honestly, in my eyes, is blasphemy. It's heresy, it really is. So there's a YouTuber out there called Critical Drinker, The Critical Drinker. He ended up doing a movie on the Predator, and it's basically everything that's wrong with cinema now. That guy nails everything wrong with that movie, and others that, you know, are trying to do the exact same garbage. So I suggest you go and check out that video, then you'll know exactly what I mean when it comes to it. Get a Stargazer and everything that's linked to the Predator in this game, get it out of there and switch it with the old school stuff. This game doesn't need to be like a modern day military game. It's perfectly fine being set in Guatemala in 1987 and then onwards from there. Also the chain gun, right? Let's get into that. Is this a Gatling gun from the American Civil War or what? As soon as I'm carrying the thing on my back and I can sprint, but as soon as I pull it out, I can't. I can hardly walk, and it takes as long to power up a PlayStation and get it to play a game as it does to flipping charge this chain gun up, get it spinning and firing rounds out of there. You're shooting at the Predator. The Predator is fast, yeah. The Predator's fast, he's invisible, he can jump like leapfrog, yeah? Vumph, he's gone. He can fly up a tree, he's got parkour skills like you've never believe. And I've got a minigun and it's taken me 500 years to charge that thing up. That needs to be charging up a lot faster, boys and girls. So that needs changing. So yeah, there's a few bits that they need to sort out before they release it finally, but I can't wait to see more maps. I can't wait to see what missions are on them maps. It's all random as well, which is even better, so you don't know what you're getting into until you've got into it. Absolutely love the way, if you're playing as the Marines, the Predator can't see what kind of equipment and weapons you've got, and if you're playing as the Marines, you can't see what the Predator's packing either. So that's really naughty. That I absolutely love that. So it's not like you can quickly change your loadout to complement yourself and have the upper hand on the teams, or the teams can't do it with you either, or so on and so forth. I love the netting. I love the way they've done the bear traps, everything. You can end up bear trapping a guy, his mate's going over to help him, net him up, some other guy comes flying around the corner, you throw your flipping combi spear, pin him to a wall, start ripping heads off. It's freaking amazing. It's really, really good. I can't wait to see what your Predator looks like once you've fully customised him and he's actually got the trophies on him. So like, you've got little bones and trinkets all over your skulls and that lot, for days. I can't wait to see. I really hope they go all out and they have really, really good looking Predators when it comes to that. You can change the skins, you can change the look of your armour, you can colour it, all sorts. It's amazing. Some of the skin, some of the actual looks like reptile, raptor. I think it's crocodile. I'm sure it's crocodile, the one I'm using. It looks badass. And then you can change his skin tone colours, and then he's got his armour on, and you can change the colour and pattern on his armour. You can make him look like a proper elite ancient Predator warrior. It's just amazing. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, the amount of customization in it. So there's that, and then there's also, like I say, the random missions as well. Like you've actually got to do things in this game. And knowing that he's out there, he could be freaking anywhere, getting ready to drop down and just pull your head off any second, makes this game really, really tense. And obviously, the more you skill into it, the more highly trained your Marines are, or more highly trained the Predator is, the more tense it's going to get. It's like, you don't even know who you're going up against. In a private party, it's one thing, but when it's randoms do the most random things, you know what I mean? You can never really count on them to be professional, right? So they're unpredictable. Random people in video games are the most unpredictable thing I've ever met in my entire life. God bless them. So yeah, that's what's going to make this game more interesting. It's available in a couple of days. To be honest, I'm 50-50 about picking it up. Due to certain things in the game, I mean, this is a beta, and I've always said it, when it comes to betas, alphas, demos, trials, and anything similar to it, what you see is just basically a taster. It's an appetizer, a taster of things to come. So I'm hoping a lot of the things that I'm seeing in this beta change, and basically, yeah, it ends up being what I hope it's going to be. When it, play-wise, it's going to be fluid, because there's certain times where I'm playing as the Predator. I'm in the trees, I'm cloaked up, I've got my vision on, there's a guy underneath me, and I'm like, I'm going to drop down and rip this guy's head off, or just stick my combi stick in his back, you know what I mean, lift him up in air and roar in his face. The things you can do is crazy, and I'm jamming the circle button. You've got to double tap circle to drop down, and nothing's happening. I'm like, getting frustrated with it. So I hope the button mechanics, I hope they get ironed out. I hope the gameplay is a lot more fluid than the beta is, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I want to wait until... The reason why is because a lot of games companies out there now today, they don't finish a game. Yeah, it's like I was saying with Resident Evil Resistance. They've got a release date. The game doesn't look like it's going to work on release. I don't mind if there's a few bugs and glitches and they get ironed out within a few days, but when the game's released broken, we've seen it done in the past by professional games companies that have been out for decades. Look at EA. Look at EA. Since Battlefield 4, we've had disaster releases, and it's not changing anytime soon, because a lot of gamers out there are getting used to it. While I do not think that's going to happen with a Sony product, I just can't help it. I really can't. pre-ordering is something I don't do anymore. I played the Modern Warfare beta. I absolutely fell in love with it. Yeah, it was back to basics, old Modern Warfare, but done now. And I waited a month before I bought the game, and now, you know, I wish I'd got it day one. I really do, but unfortunately, there's games out there like Fallout 76, which is the worst case scenario, where they've just been disasters. And since then, it takes a hell of a lot for me to pre-order a game or get a game on release day without any information on it, without looking at any YouTubers, without looking at proper reviews, independent reviews, not these freaking mainstream game journal. Don't say any more, Weaver. But yeah, so unfortunately, due to the way other gaming companies have released products in the past, I'm going to wait a couple of days to see what this final product is actually like. But I really, 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 fingers crossed, hope this is as good as it's gonna look. You know, like I say, it's a beta, it's a trial, but hopefully it'll look, you know, and play amazing. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, you can like, share, and subscribe. And as always, good gaming out there.